நிறைய டிராவல் பண்ணேன், நிறைய கேன்சல் பண்ணேன் ஆக்சுவலா. ஓகே, ஸ்டார்ட். ஓம் वागर्ताविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्तप्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ प्रपञ्चसृष्टिन्मुखलास्य कायै समस्तसंहारकताण्डवाय जगज्जनन्यै जगदेकपित्रे नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। हरिः ओम्। Since we are coming to the close of the session, I am reading almost the entire Shivananda Lahari. Last time I did the first 30 shlokas. This time we'll do 31 to 60 and then continue with our whatever shlokas we may want to see today. नालम्बा परमोपकारकमिदं त्वेकं पशूनां पते पश्यन् कुक्षिगतान् चराचरगणान् बाह्यस्थितान् रक्षितुं सर्वामर्त्यपलायन औषधमतिज्वालाकरं भीकरं निक्षिप्तं गरलं गलेन गलितं नोद्गीर्णमेव त्वया ज्वालोग्रसकलामरातिभयदः क्ष्वेलः कथं वा त्वया दृष्टः किं च करे धृतः करतले किं पक्वजम्बूफलम् जिह्वायां निहितश्च सिद्धगुटिका वा कण्ठदेशे भृतः किं ते नीलमणिर्विभूषणमयं शम्भो महात्मन् वद। नालं वा सकृदेव देव भवतः सेवानतिर्वानुतिः पूजा वा स्मरणं कथाश्रवणमप्यालोकनं मादृशां स्वामिन्नस्तिरदेवतानुसरणायासेन किं लभ्यते का वा मुक्तिरितः कुतो भवति चेत् किं प्रार्थनीयं तदा किं ब्रूमस्तव साहसं पशुपते कस्यास्ति शम्भो भव धैर्यं चेदृशमात्मनस्थितिरियं चान्यैः कथं लभ्यते भ्रश्यद्देवगुणं त्रिसन्मुनिगणं नश्यत्प्रपञ्चं लयं पश्यन्निर्भय एक एव विहरत्यानन्दसान्द्रो भवान् योगक्षेमदुरन्दरस्य सकलश्रेयः प्रतोद्योगिनो दृष्टादृष्टमतोपदेशकृतिनि बाह्यन्तरव्यापिनः सर्वज्ञस्य दयाकरस्य भवतः किं वेदितव्यं मया शम्भो त्वं परमान्तरङ्ग इति मे चित्ते स्मराम्यन्वहम् भक्तो भक्तिगुणावृते मुदमृता पूर्णे प्रसन्ने मनः कुम्भे साम्ब तवाङ्घ्रिपल्लवयुगं संस्थाप्य संवित्फलम् सत्वं मन्त्रमुदीरयन् निजशरीरागारशुद्धिं वहन् पुण्याहं प्रकटीकरोमि रुचिरं कल्याणमापादयन् आम्नायाम्बुधिमादरेण सुमनः सङ्गा सुमद्यन्मनः मन्थानं दृढभक्तिरज्जुसहितं कृत्वा मतित्वा ततः सोमं कल्पतरुं सुपर्वसुरभिं चिन्तामणिं धीमतां नित्यानन्दसुधां निरन्तररमा सौभाग्यमातन्वते प्राक्पुण्याचलमार्गदर्शित सुधामूर्तिप्रसन्नः शिवः सोमः सद्गुणसेवितो मृगधर पूर्णस्तमो मोचकः चेतः पुष्करलक्षितो भवति चेदानन्दपातो निधिः प्रागल्भ्येन विजृम्भते सुमनसां वृत्तिस्तदा जायते धर्मो मे चतुरङ्घ्रिकः सुरचितः पापं विनाशं गतं कामक्रोधमदादयो विगलिताः कालाः सुखाविष्कृताः ज्ञानानन्दमहौषधि सुफलिता कैवल्यनाथे सदा मान्ये मानसपुण्डरीकनगरे राजावतंसे स्थिते धीयन्त्रेण वचो घटेन कविता कुल्योपकुल्याक्रमैः आनीतैश्च सदाशिवस्य चरिता अम्बोराशि दिव्यामृतैः हृत्केदारयुताश्च भक्तिकलमाः सापल्यमातन्वते दुर्भिक्षान् मम सेवकस्य भगवन् विश्वेशभीतिः कुतः पापोत्पातविमोचनाय रुचिरैश्वर्याय मृत्युञ्जय स्तोत्रध्यान नति प्रदक्षिण सपर्यालोकनाकर्णने जिह्वा चित्तशिरोङ्घ्रिहस्तनयन श्रोत्रैरहं प्रार्थितः माम् आज्ञापय तन्निरूपय मुहुर्मामेव वचः गाम्भीर्यं परिखापदं घनधृतिप्राकार उद्युद्गणः गुणः स्तोमश्चाप्तबलं गणेन्द्रियचय द्वाराणि देहे स्थितः विद्यावस्तु समृद्धिरित्य किल सामग्रि समेते सदा दुर्गादिप्रियदेव मामकमनो दुर्गे निवासं कुरु मा गच्छ त्वां इतस्ततो गिरिशैवो मय्येव वासं कुरु स्वामिन् आदिकिरातमामकमनः कान्तारसीमान्तरे वर्तन्ते बहुशो मृगा मदजुषो मात्सर्यमोहादयः तान् हत्वा मृगया विनोदरुचिता लाभं च सम्प्राप्स्यसि करलग्नमृगः करीन्द्रभङ्गः घनशार्दूलविकण्ठनोस्तजन्तुः गिरिशो विशदाकृतिश्च चेतः कुहरे पञ्चमुखोऽस्ति मे कुतोभिः छन्दःशाकिशिकान्वितैर्द्विजवरैः संसेविते शाश्वते सौख्यापादिनि खेदभेदिनि सुधासारैपलैर्दीपिते चेतः पक्षिशिखामणे त्यजवृता सञ्चारमन्यैरलं नित्यं शङ्करपादपद्मयुगली नीडे विहारं कुरु आकीर्णे नकराजिकान्तिविभवैः उद्युत्सुधा वैभवैः आद्यौ तेऽपि च पद्मरागललिते हंसव्रजैराश्रिते नित्यं भक्तिवधूगणैश्च रहसि स्वेच्छा विहारं कुरु स्थित्वा मानसराजहंसगिरिजानाथाङ्घ्रिसौधान्तरे शम्बुध्यानवसन्तसङ्गिनी हृदा रामे गजीर्णच्छताः स्रस्ता भक्तिलताच्छटा विलसिताः पुण्यप्रवालाश्रिताः दीप्यन्ते गुणगोरका जपवच पुष्पाणि सद्वासना ज्ञानानन्दसुधामरन्दलहरी संवित्फलाभ्युन्नतिः नित्यानन्दरसालयं सुरमुनिस्वान्ताम्बुजाताश्रयम् स्वच्छं सद्विजसेवितं कलुषहृत् सद्वासनाविष्कृतम् शम्बुध्यानसरोवरं व्रजमनोहंसावतं सस्थिरम् किं क्षुद्राश्रयपल्वलभ्रमण सञ्चातश्रमं प्राप्स्यसि आनन्दामृतपूरिता हरपदाम्बोजालवालोद्यता स्थैर्योपग्नमुपेत्य भक्तिलतिका शाखोपशाखान्विता उच्चैर्मानसकायमानपटलीम् आक्रम्य निष्कल्मषा नित्याभीष्टफलप्रदा भवतु मे सत्कर्म संवर्धिता सन्ध्यारम्भ विजृम्भितं श्रुतिशिरस्थानान्तराधिष्ठितम् सप्रेम भ्रमराम्बिराममसकृत् सद्वासना शोभितं भोगीन्द्राभरणं समस्तसुमनः पूज्यं गुणाविष्कृतं सेवे श्रीगिरिमल्लिकार्जुनमहालिङ्गं शिवालङ्गितं भृङ्गीच्छानटनोत्कटकरिमदग्राही स्फुरन्माधवाह्लादो नादयुतो महासितवपुः पञ्चेषु नाचादृतः सत्पक्षः सुमनो वनेषु च पुनः मदीये मनः राजीवे भ्रमरादिपो विहरतां श्रीशैलवासी विभुः कारुण्यामृतवर्षिणं घनविशद्ग्रीष्मच्छिता कर्मठं विद्यासस्य फलोदयाय सुमनः संसेव्यमिच्छाकृतिं नृत्यद्भक्तमयूरमद्रिनिलयं चञ्चज्जटामण्डलं शम्भो वाञ्छति नीलकन्धर सदा त्वां मे मनश्चातकः आकाशेन शिखी समस्तफणिनां नेत्राकलापीनता अनुग्राही प्रवणोपदेशनिनदैः केकीति योगीयते श्यामां शैलसमुद्भवां घनरुचिं दृष्ट्वा नटन्तं मुदा वेदान्तोपवने विहाररसिकं तं नीलकण्ठं भजे सन्ध्याघर्मदिनात्ययो हरिकराघातप्रभूतानकः द्वानो वारि दुर्गर्जितं द्विषतां दृष्टिच्छटा चञ्चला तानां परितोषबाष्प विततर्वृष्टिर्मयूरिः शिवा यस्मिन् उज्ज्वलताण्डवं विजयते तं नीलकण्ठं भजे आद्यायामित तेजसे श्रुतिपदैर्वेद्याय साध्यायते विद्यानन्दमयात्मने त्रिजगतः संरक्षणोद्योगिने ध्येयायाखिल योगिभिः सुरगणैः गेयाय मायाविने सम्यक्ताण्डवसभ्रमाय जटिने सेयं नतिशम्भवे नित्याय त्रिगुणात्मने पुरजिते कात्यायनी श्रेयसे सत्यायाधिकुटुम्बिने मुनिमन प्रत्यक्षचिन्मूर्तये माया सृष्टजगत्त्रयाय सकलां नायान्तसञ्चारिणे सायन्ताण्डवसम्भ्रमाय जटिने सेयं नतिशम्भवे नित्यं सोदरपूरणाय सकलानुद्दिश्य वित्ताशया व्यर्थं पर्यटनं करोमि भवतः सेवां न जाने विभो मज्जन्मान्तरपुण्यपाकफलतस्त्वं सर्वान्तरः तिष्ठस्येव हि तेने पशुपते ते रक्षणीयोऽस्म्यहम् एको वारिजबान्धव क्षितिनभो व्याप्तं तमो मण्डलम् भित्त्वा लोचनगोचरोऽपि भवति त्वं कोटिसूर्यप्रभः वेद्यः किन्न भवस्यहो घनतरं कीदृग्भवेन्मत्तमः तत्सर्वं व्यपनीय मे पशुपते साक्षात् प्रसन्नो भव सपद्मवनं समिच्छति यथा नीलाम्बुदं चातकः कोकनदप्रियं प्रतिदिनं चन्द्रं चकोरस्तथा नेतो वाञ्छति मामकं पशुपते सिन्मार्गमृग्यं विभो गौरीनाथ भवत्पदाब्जयुगलं कैवल्यसौख्यप्रदम् रोदस्तो यहृतः क्षमेन पथिकश्चायां तरोर्वृष्टितः भीतस्वस्थगृहं गृहस्थमतिथिः दीनप्रभुं धार्मिकं दीपं सन्तमसाकुलश्च शिखिनं शीतावृतस्त्वं तथा चेतः सर्वभयापहं रजसुखं शम्भो पताम्भोरुहम् ॐ Okay, so 60 shlokas we have just gone in one shot, 31 to 30 and 31 to 60. We will continue with our last three shlokas are there. Anyway, last five shlokas we have been reading, so we will read. दूरीकृतानि दुरितानि दुरक्षराणि दौर्भाग्य दुःख दुरहङ्कृतिर्दुर्वचांसि सारं त्वदीयचरितं नितरां पिबन्तं गौरीशमामिह समुद्धरसत्कटाक्षैः सोमकलाधरमौलौ कोमलगणकन्दरे महामहसि स्वामिनी गिरिजानाथे मामकहृदयं निरन्तरं रमतां सारसनाते नयने तावेव करौ स एव कृतकृत्यः या ये यौव्यो भर्गं वदक्षीक्षेते सदार्चतः स्मरति अतिमृद मम चरणावति कठिनं ते मनो भवानीश इति विचिकित्सां सन्त्यज शिव कथमासीद्गिरौ तथा वेश्मः धैर्याङ्कुशेन निभृतं रभसादाकृष्य भक्तिशृङ्खलया प्रहरचरणालाने हृदयमदेवं वधानचिदन्त्रैः चिद्यन्त्रैः प्रचरत्याभितप्रगल्भवृत्त्यया मदवानेशमनकरीगरीयान् परिगृह्य नयेन भक्तिरज्वा परमस्तानुपदं दृढं नयामुम् अमुम्. So we saw these last two shlokas in the last class. Very beautifully here, the manas is mapped to an elephant, which is in an inebriated state, which is in mada. So when there is an elephant which is in an inebriated state, in the 96th shloka, as he says, if you look at, four things are required, otherwise you cannot catch the elephant. First, you need ankusha. This rod with a sharp, nobody knows how the elephant gets controlled by that, but ankusha is required. Just like you need for a bullock cart, you need something else. For a horse, you need something else. For a camel, you need something else. I don't know how these animals respond to this. For an elephant, you need an ankusha. So the mahout will always have an ankusha in his hand. And for a monkey, you need a magic wand. Anyway, so ankusha is required. Then you need a chain. Because once you are able to bring the elephant little bit under control, the first thing they'll do is they'll chain the leg. And the chain has to be tied somewhere, otherwise the elephant will carry you along with the chain. And that is a 20-ton mammoth. We are hardly a few kilograms. So you need a firm support. And to do all these, you need a tantra. You need a certain knowledge. There is a certain know-how. So that is a chit yantra. So that's what he says, that you need dhairya. Dhairya is the ankusha. Okay? Bhakti is the shrinkala. Shrinkala is the chain. Bhakti is the shrinkala. Rasabad akrishya. Quickly, otherwise you will lose. That Mahout, once he gets a control, he has to immediately bring it under complete control. No? So Rasabad akrishya. Quickly you have to catch hold of these elephant. Right? Charana alane. So, you have to tie it to an alanam. Alanam is a sort of a support or a firm support or something. That's what the 96th sloka said. In the 97th sloka, Acharya used the same thing and he says, see what he's saying, Manaha Kari Gariyan. He says this mind is an elephant and is Gariyan. It's heavy, heavy matter. Mind sometimes is very heavy. When mind becomes very heavy, we go into a downward spiral. There's depression after depression, depression for nothing. Everything is only in the mind. Everything is in the mind. After some time, it may, go. That is what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, He says, Agama paina anityaha tam tishiksasva bharata. Good and bad both have the habit of coming and going. Somehow the human psychology is we are favorably disposed towards good. You are so adversely disposed towards bad, and moment something bad happens, we think as though something very big has happened. I think both will come and go. It is in the nature of our life. It is a roller coaster. We have to do this japa. If you do 100 Rama japa, we have to do 100 this japa also. Because we have to train our mind. We have to get there, then the wisdom comes. So he says, Gariyan. Manaha Kari Gariyan. Right? He says, Parigrihya, Nayena Parigrihya. Very carefully, smartly, you have to catch like you catch an elephant. Right? And what do you use for catching? Bhakti Rajwa. Use the thread called Bhakti. Put it around this mind and then pull it. And then Stanu Padam Dridam Nayam. Stanu means stira thing. Stanu also is called Parameshwara. So it has both the meaning. So you stick it firmly so that this elephant is brought under control. That's what we saw. So today we will see a sloka. I see Shivananda Lahari. We have come to the end. So I've been saying this many times. Shivananda Lahari has 3 dimensions. The first dimension is it is a Bhakti Grantha. So there is a Ishta Devata of Ishvara, and so it's such a beautiful rendering of. So one can use it for any Ishta Devata. You can replace that with our Ishta Devata and nothing changes. So it is an Bhakti Grantha. The Bhakti Rasa has so beautifully been brought by Acharya in all these shlokas. Second, Acharya has brought Vedanta because at the end of the day, everything must reach there. Finally, it is Atma Vidya. All these are only methods for us to go there. So, because we are so engaged in the method, we cannot lose sight of the destination. Therefore, there are enough Vedantic thought which we saw. The third thing, I have been saying this a few times, so I am saying it again, such a beautiful kavi. It's a great kavya. In fact, some people, learned people, Sanskrit Pandits say, look at Shivananda Lahari. If you want to see the alankaras, if you want to see the prayogas, so beautifully Acharya has done it as a nice, he has donned the role of a kavi also. Now we have seen so many of them. Now today we are going to see a very special shloka, and this shloka, Acharya has taken it to the height of his kavitva. He has really taken it to pinnacle of the great prowess he has in showing that he can be a great kavi. And he is using this shloka finally to say, I offer this Shivananda at your lotus feet. That's what he's going to say. But then we have to see how he says. That's where his kavitva is so beautifully rendered today. So it's one of the beautiful shlokas. Many shlokas are beautiful. This is the last but two shlokas, but this shloka is very beautiful. I brought it at the very first session of Shivananda Lahari. When I started the session 2 years back, I brought this shloka. But that time I made a very passing, because we can't appreciate that at that point in time. That's why I said it. Today we'll see it in a little more detail. It's one of the nice shlokas. सर्वालङ्कारयुक्तां सरलपदयुतां साधुवृत्तां सुवर्णां सद्भिः संस्तूयमानां सरसगुणयुतां लक्षितां लक्षणाढ्याम् उद्यद्भूषा विशेषाम् उपगतविनयां द्योतमानार्तरेखां कल्याणीं देवगौरी प्रिय मम कविता कन्यकां त्वां गृहाण. There is not much to do padacheda. I mean, that's one thing about Shivananda. They are not very complex, words. They are actually simple words. Little padacheda you do, everything falls in place. Anyway, there is not much here. Sarva alankara yuktam, sarala padayutam, all are individual padas only. Sadhu vrittam, suvarnam, sadbihi samstuyamanam, sarasa gunayutam, lakshitam, Lakshanadhyam, Udyad Bhusha Vishesham. There is only a sandhi here. Udyad Bhusha Avisesham, Bhusha Visesham, Upagata Vinayam, Dyotamanartha Rekam, Kalyani. There are 12 descriptions actually. There are 12 descriptions here. Okay? Sarva Alankara Yuktam, Sarala Padayutam, Sadhu Vrittam, Suvarnam, Sadbihi Samstuyamanam, Sarasa Gunayutam, Lakshitam, Lakshanadhyam, Udbhusha Vishesham, Upagata Vinayam, Dyotamanartharekam, Kalyanim. So there are 12 adjectives Acharya uses. To what? That's a question. That is available at the end of the shloka. No, there is only one Kriya Pada in the entire shloka. There is only one verb. That is Grihana. Please take it. So, as I have been repeatedly saying, the only way to understand Sanskrit is catch hold of a verb. The verb has to be now connected to everything. That's how the world is. If you have an action, 100 questions will come. If you say going, you will ask who is going, where is he going, why is he going, what is he going to do. That one verb only created. If you say Rama, Asmi, there is nothing more. Noun cannot generate anything. An action generates more vocabulary, more conversation. Eating. Moment you say eating, then you'll ask what time are you eating, what are you eating, who is eating, why are you eating now. So many questions will come. That's why always we should take a Kriya Pada. Because it's called Karakas. In Sanskrit, it is called Karaka. The Kriya Pada will connect to everything. So here there is a Kriya Pada, Grihana. Please take it. Grihana means please take it. Now the question is what is to be taken. So now we can start asking. First of all, you can ask who is he telling. Also we can ask. Now we'll ask what is more important. We'll ask what is to be taken. He says Kanyakam Grihana. Take this lady, Kanya. Please, I am offering this lady to you. Kanyakam Tvam Grihana. You take it. So who is to be given? That person is also now told. There is somebody apparently standing in front of Acharya. So he says, you take it. Tvam Grihana. What do you want to take? Kanyakam Grihana. You take this lady. Then there is an adjective to the Kanyaka. Kavita Kanyakam Grihana. No, this lady called my Kavita, this poetry, I am now portraying her like a lady. That is his height of Alankara. This is how he does throughout in Shivananda Lahari. So he says, Kavita Kanyakam Tvam Grihana. You take the Kavita, then you can ask, whose Kavita? Okay, you can give somebody's, this is called in Tamil, they say, Kadatenga eduthu vazhippillayarukku podrathu. You go all the way, you saw a coconut shop, you took a coconut, broke it in the Ganapati temple and you went. X, Y and Z are not connected at all. No, Mama Kavita. So he says, Mama Kavita Kanyakam Tvam Grihana. So that's all. The message in this shloka, 98th shloka, is Acharya is saying, I am offering my Kavita called Shivananda Lahari. I have done such a beautiful piece called Shivananda Lahari, which is like a Kanyaka. That is the Slesha Alankara he has, Rupaka Alankara he has brought here. It's a Rupaka Alankara here. He says, my Shivananda Lahari is like a lady. I am offering it to you. He's doing a Kanika Dhanam, sort of. Okay. So he's saying, Mama Kavita Kanyakam Tom Grihana. Then there are two more words before that. That is in Sambodhana. He Deva. He Gauri Priya. So because throughout Shivananda he is addressing, that's a Lakshana of Bhakti. The Bhaktas will directly talk to the Ishta Devata. There is nobody in between required. And there is no language, there is no respect, nothing is required. I mean, that Anubhava, that is a different thing. We can read it analytically. I can say, why is he using, Ekavachanam, we should use Bhagavad. All that we can use, you can rattle our mind. That's not what Bhakti has, no such things. The Bhakta is connected to the Ishta Devata. And there is a seamless thought which flows between the two. The world disappears in that height of Bhakti. That kind of a prapaddi happened. It melts and then it joins. There is no separation that you need to really worry about. So the vocabulary, the usages, all those. So throughout he is only doing Sambodhana. Because he wants to say in front of Ishvara, Hey Deva, Hey Gauri Priya, Tvam, you. There is no respect. Tvam is a, Madhyama Purusha. It's in normal terms we say, Tavu, Neevu ante helti, Neenu ante helalla now in Kannada. All those rules don't apply for a bhakti. Bhakti is is a rasa which takes you elsewhere. So he says, Tvam Grihana, as though he is ordering. You take it. What do you take? Mama Kavita Kanyakam Tvam Grihana. You take my Kavita, which is a lady. So there are two now here. The 12 Lakshanas can be, you can close it. Close it, Nisha. Nobody will come with it. So, the 12 Lakshanas are for Shivananda Lahiri. The 12 Lakshanas are for a lady also. This is how he has been doing. So, he has finally did it for the last time in a big way. Many shlokas we saw it. Here he has taken it to its extreme. 12 Lakshanas he has brought. So let us look at the 12 Lakshanas. First we look at it from the Shivananda Lahiri perspective. Then we look at it from the lady Kanyaka perspective. First Lakshana it says is Sarva Alankara Yuktam. Sarva Alankara Yuktam. Right? In fact, one of the Lakshana of a Kavi or a Kavya is you have to use different Lakshanas there. Alankaras there. Different Alankaras. Right now there is an Alankara we are seeing. There is Rupaka Alankara between poetry and a lady. Right? And there are many. I identified 12 of them. I'll show you the list now. I have done the full list. So there are 12 Alankaras. There are many more. I just took 11, 12 of them just to remind that way. Since we have come to the end of Shivananda Lahiri, that way you can go back and then get connected to the earlier messages also. So there are 12 Alankaras that you see here. Okay. It started with the 20th sloka. Kapali bhiksho me hride kapi matyanta chapalam dridam bhaktya bhatva seva bhavada dinam kuru vibho. This, my manas is like a monkey. You are a bhikshatana. Keep a monkey, people will give you more, So why don't you keep my manas is a monkey. Use the bhakti as the raju. Tie it and keep it with you. You'll have a better day out. That's what he said. So, hridaya kapi. The manas is The Alankara there is, Manas is like a kapi. Then next shloka. Macheta sputapata kutim prapya. Shambho, you come and stay. He said, my manas is like a tent, like a nice tent. So he explained how the manas can be like a tent. You need different colors. Manas has so many colors. Like that, if you remember, you can go back to that shloka. So here, macheta has kuti. My mind is like a kuti, like a tent. That's the alankara that you found in the following shloka. Then mameka mamaka manadurge niva durga priya nivasam kuru. I said the shloka today. We uttered that shloka. He says, my mind is like a Durga. You know, this mind, chanchalam hi manakrishna pramadi balavad dridam. The mind will never go. It is a very hard nut. That's like a Durga. My manas is like a Durga. You are a Durga Priya. Why don't you come and sit here? So that was that Alankara that you saw. Then, Swamin Ati Kirata. Mamaka mana kantara sima antare. Vartante bahushaha mrigashaha. You are Ati Kirata. You know, that Kirata Arjunia. That Arjuna and he had a fight. So he went as a hunter. So he said, you are a hunter. All filthy animals are inside. Mamaka manaha kantara simantare vartante bagusha mrigaha. Why don't you come and do the hunting here? Why don't you go elsewhere? Like that he said. That's a beautiful alankara there. Right? Chetapakshi shikamane tyajavrita sancharam anyehi alam. My manas is like a nest. So the Chetapakshi, you come and stay here. The Pakshi, this is like the nest. You come and Pakshi Shikamane, Chetaha, you come and then stay here. You are such a nice bird, you come and stay here because Shiva is there, so you come and stay there. It's a slightly different Alankara here. It is telling the mind, you come to this nest because Ishvara is there. You come and stay there, you don't have to go here and there, you will find peace and you can aram say live there. So like that, Cheta Pakshi, Shikamane, Teja. Then, this is a very beautiful sloka. The bhakti is the mother, the bhakta is the arbaka. Pariyanga, you know, how there is a nice cradle. All that is part of that shloka. It's a nice cradle. And in the cradle, you have to now give this child a little bath and then apply some scent and vibhuti and all that. And then give it some food. The child is not going to eat. So you have to tell some katha. So tell Shiva Karna, Shiva, all that will be part of the shloka if you read. Then he says, Bhakti Janani Bhaktarpagam Rakshati. This mother called Bhakti is protecting the Bhakta. That kind of an alankara that we saw, which is the 62nd shloka. Macheta Manipaduka Viharanam Shambho Sada Angikuru. Your Padara Vinda is so soft. Now you want to dance in the mountains. It will get very disturbed. Whereas my manas, no, it's so hard. It's a good material for a chapel. It's so hard, you know. That's what he says. Macheta manipaduka viharanam shambho sada angikuru. You will be, your padaravinda will be protected. Because my manas is a hard piece. Like that you can take it that. Mama paripalaya bhakti denu mekam. Bhakti is also, you know, the bhakti of a bhakta is made equivalent to a pashu, a dhenu. That shloka, if you read, you'll find, he says, please protect that cow called bhakti. That's the alankara there. Chetappetim vasitam me tanot me. See, if you have a petika, yeah, you know, if it is smelling, what you have to do is you have to put some sugandha, some scent, some pushpa. So he says, my petika is all smelling. My manas is like a petika. It has all durvasanas. You are the scent. You come and sit here and then clean up all these durvasana. That's what he said in that shloka. Chetappetim vasitam me tanotu me. Chetasturanga madiruhya charasmarare. You have a old cow which cannot go at a speed like I have a horsepower. Chetasturanga, my manas, manovega we say, no? The manas can go all over the place so fast. You are now sitting on an old bull that will go 2 kilometers per hour. Here I have a passport, which is 50 kilometers per hour. Why don't you come into my, there's a lot of Hasya Bhava also. So here he says, Chetas Turangam Adiruhya, get on to this Chetas Turanga, and then Chara, you'll go fast places. You have to go to so many places, you go. Right? Smarare. Bhava Mama Gunaduryam Buddhi Kanyam Pradasye. We saw one of the shlokas in which the buddhi is like a kanika, and he said, I will offer the buddhi to you. I do a kanika dana. We read that shloka also. So the buddhi is equated to a kanni. Today we are equating a kavita to a kanni. Here the buddhi is equated to a kanni. That alankara you see there. Then just last class we saw Manakari Gariyan. Manas is equated to an elephant. Right? Madavan, Eshaha, Madavan, Eshaha Kari, Madavan. He is an inebriated state, uncontrollable state. My mind is like an uncontrollable elephant. So again, we saw it in the last two shlokas. Today morning, we started with that. So many alankaras. The 98th is the mother of all alankaras because he has used 12 different things to describe both the Shivananda Lahari and Kannika. So that's why Sarva Alankara Yuktam. That is what is happening. Sarala Pada Yutam. See, we can write kavyas. Certain kavyas you can't read. It's very complicated. In fact, certain usages are very complicated. This Aryabhatta actually, modern scientists don't know. In engineering colleges, they teach what is called Clark's table. Sine difference, cosine table, sine table, and all that we have Clark's table. You know what he did it? All this was done by Aryabhatta. Aryabhatta gave sine differences a geometrical proof, how to derive, an analytical proof. In my book, I have written the analytical part of it. In addition to that, he gave one shloka. In my first chapter, I have given it as one footnote. That shloka you can't utter. It is Aki, Baki, Maki, Klaki. After some time, I don't know how to pronounce it. Okay, there the intention is different. He is using some sutra for you to remember that complex numbers. That's not Saralapada Yuta. Sometimes, certain kavyas are very tough, very hard to even pronounce. Sivanandali was not like that. Very Sarala, very nice. Padas are very nice. So Sarala Pada Yutam. See, look at each of the pada here. So nice, no? Sometime back we saw ya, ya, ye, yau, yaha. Very beautiful padas. Simple padas which connect to one and all that kind of a thing. So Sarala Pada Yutam. That is the second Lakshana of Shivananda Lahiri. Then there is a third Lakshana which is Sadhu Vrittam. Vritti means Chandas. In the scheme of Kavya, Vritti means Chandas. So there are different Chandas. Chandas Shastra, there are too many Chandas. She has used 13 different Chandases. Again, I'll show you a list of, I've been telling it from time to time. I thought I will bring it at one place. Look at the chandas that he has used, the kind of vrittis that he have used. The first 28 shlokas is Shikarini meter, 17 syllables. Kalabhyam, Chutalankratasya Shikalabhyam, Nijatapaha, Palabhyam, Bhakteshu Prakadita Palabhyam, Shivabhyam, Stoga Tribuna Shivabhyam, Anandaspurudanubhavabhyam, Natiriyam. There will be 4 padas of 17 syllables each, like that. So that is Shikarini, first 28. 29 to 66 is Shardula Vikridita, slightly bigger. 19, Karalagna Mrgaha, Karindra Bangaha. No, not that. The next one. Mamaka Manaha. This is what you see here. Mamaka Manak Kantara Simantare. That is Shardula Vikrida. 1919 you will find actually. So that is Shardula Vikridita, 29 to 66. Then he brought a third meter called Pushpita Agra. This is called, there are some meters, normally meters, all the 4 padas will have the same number of syllables. For example, Sikarini is 17, 17, 17, 17. Any poetry will have 4 padas. That's why it's called pada, 1 quarter. 4 padas make 1 padya. That's why it's called padya. Poetry is called padya because there are padas. Normally four padas. Gayatri Chandas is tripada. Normally four padas. So each pada will have the equal number of syllables. But there are some meters which are unequal. So here you see Pushpitagra is first pada is 12, second pada is 13. It is called, Ardhasama. Half of it is of the one pattern, another half is another pattern. So 67 to 70. 71 to 77 is Vasanta Tilaka. It has 14 syllables. Okay. And then Dhrita Vilambita, the 12 syllables, 78th. 79 to 82 again become Shikarani. In between, we had that came again. 79 to 82 is Shikarani. 83 to 85 is a meter called Malini. Okay, 15 syllables. Then Malya Bharani, which is again Ardha, 11, 12, 11, 12. First pada is 11, second is 12, third is 11, fourth is 12. Then you have Shalini meter, which is 91 to 93. 94 to 97 is called, it's a group of meter called Arya meter. This is called Giti, one of them. 12, 18, 12, 18. Okay. Then today what we see is another different meter. Yeah, it is called Shriddhara. And the way we have to, in fact, I have mentioned it at few places. Each meter also tells you where to pass. Otherwise, you will not utter it properly. That uttering, that is also the part of the, if you read the Shriddhara, it will say Traya Muni at the end. Muni means Sapta Rishis. Traya Muni is 3 into 7, which means the 21 must be stopped 7, 7, 7, you have to utter. All those are part of the formula itself. The last two are again Shikarini, I think. 9900, I think, the last two. Look at here. This you have to split it into 3. Only then it will be very nice. Sarva Lankara Yuktam. 7 you have to pass. Saralapadayutam. Again 7. Sadhu Vrittam Suvarnam. That's why you have to pass. So that is also written as part of the formula. If you read, you will understand. It will say Muni Traya. Somewhere it will say Traya Muni. So Sarva Lankara Yuktam, Saralapadayutam, Sadhu Vrittam Suvarnam, Sadbhisam Stuyamanam, Sarasagunayutam, Lakshitam Lakshanadhyam. We have to say like that. Only then, otherwise we don't know where to. Even that is part of it. Udbhusha Visesham. We have to break that. Upagata Vinayam. You will find exactly 7 syllables. Dyotamanartarekam Kalyanim Deva Gauri Priya Mama Kavita Mama Priya Kavita Kanyakam Tom Grahana. If you break it, you have to break it like that actually. That's also part of it. So it has sadhu vrittis. So people who want to know a little bit of Alankara Shastra, a little bit of Chandra Shastra, they can read actually Shivananda Lahari. So many different meters are there. Sadhu Vrittam, Suvarnam. It's not only the pada, even the varnas. Each syllable is not difficult to pronounce. That's why I said, we say, Baki, Maki, Glaki. Glaki is not Sadhuvarna, not Suvarna. Gla and all. Even this formula for this Shagrata meter, it starts with Mrana, Magana, Ragana, Nagana. That's what it is. Mrana, that's how it's. You can't read all that. They are not Suvarnam. I mean, that's written for a different, it is actually a sutra. Whereas here it is, Varnas are also very easy to pronounce and nicely coined and so on. Suvarnam, that is the third Lakshana of the Shivananda Lahari. Suvarnam, Sadbihi Samstuyamanam. All great people celebrate this piece because it has such valuable messages. Every Acharya's work, I mean, we are only talking now Shivananda Lahari. I will say of everything. That's why they are Acharyas. Somebody asked, Nuchur Swamihil was asked once, and I think Nuchur Swamihil quoted it. Ramana Maharishi was asked, Bhagavan Ramana Maharishi was asked. That person actually commented saying, Tyagaraja Swami sang so much and attained, the Paramapada of Sakshat Rama. Ramana Maharshi corrected him. No, 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 it is not like that. He attained and he sang what he attained. That's why Tyagaraja Kritis are so special. He clarified, no, no, it is not like that. He attained and then he sang. That's why the Tyagaraja Kritis have that great power and that force that we have. So, Sadbihi Samstuya Manam, because it has such nice messages for us to take us in the Sanmarga. That's why Sat people, Sadbihi Samstuya Manam. They do the stotra, they do this, they celebrate, they talk good of, that's the meaning. Samstuyamanam. So that is the next Lakshana of Shivananda Lahari. Then Sarasa Gunayutam. Okay. It has brought all nice attributes that are required for us. In many things about life he has talked in the entire scripture. So Sarasa Gunayutam, it has all those nice features. That is one way to understand. Another way to understand is there are certain gunas for a kavya. It should have simile, it should have the correct vritti, it should have the correct rhythm, it should have that patterns. So all that I constantly showed you, so many of them. So Sarasa Gunayitam, it has all those nice gunas of what a kavya to be. So Sarasa Gunayitam, that is the next Lakshana. Lakshitam, it has a clear focus. It has a single pointed focus. Bhakti, bhakti, and bhakti. Ankolakam nija bija santatihi ayaskantopalam suchika sadvim naija vimlata kshitirugam sindussaridvallabam prapnoti yata ihe pashupate padaravinda Cheto vritti upetya sa tishtati sa bhakti rityuchyate. In 61st shloka, he defined it. Although everything is bhakti, he gave a proper definition of bhakti also. So it is lakshitam. It was not wavering. All great acharyas, when you do the work, they have this in mind, There is a prayojana for it, there's a lakshya for it. Lakshitam, lakshanadhyam. It has all the adya means one who is adored, decorated. So lakshanadhyam, it has all these lakshanas. Sarvalankara yuktam, sarala padayutam, sadivrittam, suvarnam, sadbihi samstuyamanam, sarasa gunayitam, lakshitam, all these are the lakshanas. So it is adorned by so many lakshanas. The Shivananda Lahari is adorned by so many different lakshanas. Udbhusha vishesham. Ud means up. Okay? Udbhusha vishesham means Bhusha Vishesha means one which brings it. Bhusha means Bhushana. It radiates. When people put all their ornaments and so on, it only lifts them, no? So the messages, basically what is intended here is, it has such uplifting messages. Udbhusha Vishesha. It has messages which has the tendency to uplift us, bring us to our higher plane of our existence. It will bring us to the higher plane of where we need to go by showing us that Sanmarga and so on. So, Udbhusha Vishesham, Upagata Vinayam. If we seriously read all great Acharya's work, I think the proper, if I have understood properly, our Vinaya must go up. The humility must develop even more. That is the Lakshana. Only then we have actually got the right message from all these great acharyas, all acharyas' great works. So, upagata vinayam. It has the tendency to make us develop that sense of humility, the humbleness that we need, because that is very important. If ego is there, we go nowhere. The ego is the biggest, villain in our life. It will stunt our personal evolution, self-growth. It will stunt. Whether you call material growth or spiritual growth, I believe for all of them, you need to keep our ego away. Ego can stunt you. So, upagata vinayam. Dyotamana artharekam. Okay? Arthareka, reka means line. Arthareka is a line of progress or prosperity. Dyotamana, so it shows you a path of prosperity from a Kavita perspective. For a Kandika, I will bring all these differently. Okay? So, Dyotamana Artharekam, which lifts you into your progress. It shows that it draws the line for you to say this is the way you have to go. It lifts you to that level of your existence and progress. Dyotamana Artharekam. Kalyanim. Kalyana means Mangala. Kalyanim means Mangaladayini. So Shivananda Lahari is Mangaladayini. Why? Because Ishwara is Shiva is Mangala, Mangala Swarupi. Sham karoti iti Shankaraha, Sham bhavati iti Shambho. Okay? So our ability to develop that orientation will only make us bring that Mangala to us also. So Mangalakari, Kalyani. So Kalyanim, Mangalakarim, He Gauri Priya. And here you see he is using the word Gauri Priya. So he says, you have this Gauri Priya. I was just listening to some other lecture yesterday. The Gauri Priya can be used both as a Tatpurusha Samasa and Bahuvrihi Samasa. Either ways it will work. Gauriyaha Priyaha Yaha. Gauriyaha Priyaha Gauri Priyaha. Which means Shiva. Gauri Yasya Priya. Priya. Saha. So in the Bahuvrihi, it talks about Shiva, but he says Shiva is loved by Gauri. In Tatpurusha, he says the one who is very close to, say either ways. Either ways, it will give the same meaning. Why? Because Nijatapa Palabhyam, first shloka. Shivabhyam Nijatapa Palabhyam. Shiva did tapa to get Parvati. Parvati did tapa to get Shiva. So both loved each other. So you can use whatever samasa you want here. Gauri Priya shows that, Gauri was in great love of Shiva. Ishvara is in great love. That's why Vagartha Viva Sampraktau Vagartha Pratipattaye. That's why they are like the Shabda and Artha. They are the ideal Dampati, that imagery that has to come in our minds. So that's why he says, now I will give you this Kavita Gandika also to you. You are a Gauri Priya, keep this also with you. So he says, Gauri Priya He Deva, Gauri Priya, Mama Kavita Kanyakam Tvam Grahana. You please take this. Now we will see the other part in next class. It's already 11. I think we should stop here. Now we will see in the next class how he uses the same 12 Lakshana and show that these are the Lakshana for a lady to be married. That also we will see. Very beautifully he has brought 12 Lakshanas of a lady to be married. That we will take it up in the next class and conclude this shloka and see the other two shlokas. I think we will conclude it here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. So it so happens that Shivananda is coming to end. So this thought came into my mind yesterday, strongly into my mind. So I decided tomorrow I am going to do. Whoever wants to come, please come. We will do a small little puja and read all these 100 shlokas of Shivananda Lahiri and a few other nice shlokas also we can do. These are occasions to, get a little bit. So I have decided to do it. Whoever wants to come, please come, no problem. Yeah, I will come there. Yeah, 4 o'clock also we have another, Shivaratri puja in our Veda Goshti we are doing. We're doing it in the place where we have our Gita Jain. Yeah, Jaina is Rama Bhajana Mandali. There we will do from 4 to 8. My guru comes, so we will have, we normally do it. So that also we will do. Then I thought I'll come back and then do one more puja here. I felt like reading this entire Shivananda Lahiri because it's almost coming to an end. Okay.